Okay, so if I do select star from game, you know what? It looks like I don't even have the most up-to-date game table here either, but shoot. For what I'm going to show you, though, it won't matter. What I see here is a lot of repetition under genre, right? So, well, how many games do we have in each genre? This should work the same whatever version of the game table you have. All right, so in order to say how many, that again is going to be which aggregate function? Count, yeah. Often I have to pause myself and think, well, is that a sum or is that a count? But you know, counting how many, right? So we're going to show a count, and again, I'll just go with my star. I could count any field, but it's really just the number of records from games. So right now, that'll tell me how many games there are in total, right? I have 16 games in this particular table, because that's not what I'm after, though. I want to see how many in each genre. So really, I want to show the name of the genre to do that properly, right? So game genre. I think I have that right. Let me just G-E-N-R-E, yeah. So we would think that would work, but of course, my rule of thumb is to look at the select and think, do I need a group by? Obviously the answer is yes, and that's exactly what this error message means, right? The column game genre is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or a group by clause. So whenever you see one of these, that's a reminder, hey, obviously I need a group by, right? So I could just group by. And so basically anything and everything that isn't an aggregate function from here, we copy and put down here. I only have one, right? So now I should be able to show the genre and a count, okay, of how many games are in each one. Now I don't have an as, so that's why I'm not getting a column heading here. But you see, it's the same idea. We're just taking advantage of the natural repetition of this game genre that we can group by all the fantasy games, for example, all the historical games, and so on. And we could keep on going. So that is like as, I don't know how many, or number of games. Right? And we can keep going. What we might want to know, let me think, what's the name of the field? Game fee, right? So what's the average game fee? Or the highest game fee in each genre, right? Well, then I could just use, say, max of game fee as.
Do you have to put a comma after the number of games?
I do. Right. So then this select should give me the name of the genre, the count of how many games in that genre there are, and what the highest individual fee of any game within each genre, right? Okay. And again, so I'm seeing the highest fees here. Oh, look at horror and sci-fi are pretty cheap. Even the most expensive is 0. That's okay. And then if we want to do a halving, right? Well, then a halving would only be useful on one of the things that's part of the aggregation here. So I could do more than 4 games, 4 or more games, right? That's a simple one, halving. Within the genre, there's 4 or more games in that genre, so that would be our count star. Greater than or equal to 4. So all the ones with just a couple games, maybe we decide, well, they aren't statistically significant. We just want to look at the genres that have a lot more than 4, or at least 4 games, and there we go. So now we're filtering by a property of the group itself, right? And maybe we only want to include, you know, this highest fee business. Let's just, I'm trying to think of an example to show where and having in the same one. Okay, so we could eliminate games that don't have a rating overall in the whole analysis we've done, right? We could say if they aren't rated, then we don't want to include them. So to do that, that is a property of each individual game on its own. So that would be a where clause. Where game rating is not null. Okay. So I'm going to leave out the having for now, so I'm not eliminating any groups.
So we're just trying to show games only with ratings?
Yes. We're still showing how many are in each genre and what the highest fee of any one game within each genre is, but we've eliminated all games that don't have a rating. Okay? So we see the number of fantasy games. I remember a moment ago there were 9, now we're down to 7, because obviously 2 of them didn't have a rating. So we've eliminated them from the analysis altogether with our where clause. Okay? And then with my having, I can use that at the same time. So I'm only showing results for genres as a group that there's at least 4 or more games, technically, rated games. So that's an example of using where and having at the same time. Just another example.